by now you are well versed with the perfect continuous tense. Now this slide shows three declarative sentences portraying the perfect continuous tense in the past, present and future. It also shows the various verb forms associated with each. You can pause the presentation to go through them in detail. Now let us read this sentence. He has been studying since morning. Now this is a declarative sentence portraying the present perfect continuous tense. Now in this sentence, we have two auxiliary verbs, has, been, and these auxiliary verbs show us the tense. Has is telling us that it is the present tense, and the main verb here is studying, which is the ing form of the base verb study, and this verb is telling us that the action is continuous. Now if we have the sentence written as has he been studying since morning, then this sentence becomes an interrogative sentence portraying the present perfect continuous tense. Now what have we done here? In this sentence, we have included the subject he in between the two auxiliary verbs has and been. And here also the two auxiliary verbs show the tense, and the main verb, which is the ing form of the base verb, shows that the action is continuous. So we have the sentence, has he been studying since morning? This is an interrogative sentence portraying the present perfect continuous tense. So how will we complete this sentence? Dash they dash since morning. Now in this sentence, we have the subject as they. In the first sentence, we have a singular subject he. In the second sentence, our subject is plural. So what will be the auxiliary verb in this sentence? In this sentence, it will be have they been studying since morning. So we see that the interrogative sentence portraying the present perfect continuous tense can take the form has or have depending on the subject, followed by the subject, followed by the auxiliary verb been, and then the ing verb form. Now let us look at this sentence. Had they been practicing for the opening ceremony since the last 2 months? Now this is an interrogative sentence, and we see that the auxiliary verbs used here are had and been. So had is telling us that this sentence is portraying the past tense. So this interrogative sentence is portraying the past perfect continuous tense, where we have two auxiliary verbs, had, been, and the main verb is practicing, which is an ing form of the base verb practice. Now we have used had, been with our subject they. This is a plural subject. So how would we have written the same sentence if our subject would be singular she? So how would we complete the sentence? Dash she dash for the opening ceremony since the last 2 months. We would have also used then had she been practicing for the opening ceremony since the last 2 months. So we see that the interrogative sentence portraying the past perfect continuous tense takes the form had, followed by the subject, followed by been, and then the ing verb form. So whether our subject is singular or plural, the form of the sentence does not change. Now if I say, will she have been teaching for 20 years next July? In this case, we have three auxiliary verbs here, will, have, been. So the subject has been included between the first two auxiliary verbs. Now, will have been is telling us that this sentence is portraying the future perfect continuous tense. So, will she have been teaching for 20 years next July is an interrogative sentence which is portraying the future perfect continuous tense. How will we rewrite this sentence if we change the singular subject she to a plural subject, say they? In that case, we will write, will they have been teaching for 20 years next July? So, we see that in the future perfect continuous tense, the interrogative sentence follows the form will or shall, followed by the subject, followed by the two auxiliary verbs have, been, and then the ing verb form. So now that we know the various forms of interrogative sentences portraying the perfect continuous tense, let us do this exercise. Complete the sentence in the future perfect continuous tense. The sentence given to us is dash it dash for 3 days tomorrow, and the verb given to us is rain. So what is the sentence form in this case? We know that it is will followed by the subject it, followed by the auxiliary verbs have, been, and then the ing form of the verb given to us, which is raining. So it will be, will it have been raining for 3 days tomorrow? Now let us read this sentence. Has she been studying since morning? Now we know that this is an interrogative sentence portraying the present perfect continuous tense, but this is a positive interrogative sentence. Now if we say, has she not been studying since morning, that is also an interrogative sentence portraying the same tense, but here this is a negative interrogative sentence because we have included the negative word not, and we have included this word before the second auxiliary verb been. Now the negative interrogative sentence can also be written as, hasn't she been studying since morning? What have we done here? We have used hasn't, which is the contracted form of has not. So we see that the negative interrogative sentence portraying this tense can have two forms. What are they? We can either use has or have depending on the subject, followed by it, followed by the negative word not, followed by been, and then the ing verb form. Or we can use the contracted form to write hasn't or haven't, followed by the subject, followed by been, and then the ing verb form. Now, how will we complete this sentence as a negative interrogative sentence portraying the past perfect continuous tense? The verb given to us is work. We will write, had they not been working on this project since 2005. We can also write, hadn't they been working on this project since 2005? So the interrogative sentence here, which is a negative interrogative sentence, can follow two forms. It can be had followed by the subject, followed by not, then been, and then the ing verb form, or we can write the contracted form hadn't followed by the subject, then been, and the ing verb form. What about this sentence? Now we have to complete this negative interrogative sentence in such a way that it portrays the future perfect continuous tense, and the verb given to us is teach. How will we write it? We will write it as, will she not have been teaching for 20 years next July? Or we will write it as, won't she have been teaching for 20 years next July? So the sentence forms in this kind of tense can either be will or shall, followed by the subject, followed by not. Then the auxiliary verbs have been and then the ing verb form. Or we can use the contracted form to write won't followed by the subject, then have been and then the ing verb form. Now you know that we don't write the contracted form of shall not. Now let us do this exercise. Complete the negative sentence in the future perfect continuous tense. Dash it dash for 3 days tomorrow. So this is an interrogative sentence. Now we have to complete this sentence in such a way that it is a negative interrogative sentence. The verb given to us is not rain and it has to portray the future perfect continuous tense. Now we already know the form of the sentence. It is will followed by the subject, followed by not, then have been raining for 3 days tomorrow. Or we can use the contracted form to write won't followed by the subject, it have been raining for 3 days tomorrow. So what did we learn today? Today we have learned about the various sentence forms of the negative interrogative sentence portraying the perfect continuous tense. So in the past tense, the positive interrogative sentence has the form had followed by the subject, followed by been and then the ing verb form. In the present, we use has or have depending on the subject, followed by it, followed by been and then the ing verb form. In the future perfect continuous tense, we can write the sentence as will or shall followed by the subject, then have been and then the ing verb form. Now the negative interrogative sentence also can be written in various ways to portray the perfect continuous tense. So in the past, we can write it as had followed by the subject, followed by the negative word and then been followed by the ing verb form. Or we can write the contracted form as hadn't followed by the subject, followed by been and then the ing verb form. In the present perfect continuous tense, we can write has or have followed by the subject, then the negative word, followed by been and then the ing verb form. Or we can write hasn't or haven't followed by the subject, followed by been and then the ing verb form. In the future perfect continuous tense, we can write will or shall followed by the subject, followed by the negative word and then have been followed by the ing verb form. Or we can write won't followed by the subject, followed by have been and then the ing verb form. Now remember that we never use the contracted form of shall not. So now you know the various forms of interrogative sentences portraying the perfect continuous tense in the past, present and future. You have already learnt about declarative sentences and today we have learnt about interrogative sentences. So you should be very comfortable working with them. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to get all learning resources as per ICSE, CBSE, IB, Cambridge or any other curriculum. Over 5,000 amazing lectures across maths, science, English and social science. Our unique interactive video technology keeps you engaged and our iDictionary feature allows you to quickly revise any concept. Master each topic at your own pace with our adaptive practice technology and 1 million plus questions. Get instant answers and detailed solutions. Be exam ready by taking unlimited mock tests, performance analysis with actionable feedback, personal tutors, to resolve your slightest of doubts. That's not all. You can also win amazing prizes like PlayStation, iPad, watches, and many more, along with certificates through our Earn As You Learn program. So learning at DeltaStep is not just fun and easy, it is also rewarding. So register for free now